Welcome to Drinking Bros Sports Hangover Show. This is the Hangover Show. This is Drinking Bros Sports Tailgating. Actually, we are just back from Austin, Texas. We had a rager with the boys over there in Austin. I'm never drinking again.
Cheers. You're drinking right now.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Never drinking again. We had a great time, though. What a hell of a game.
Hell of a game.
I know you're happy.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Game. I told you the whole time. We had that bet. It's on camera.
We did.
It's on recording. I didn't forget.
Not happy
Brady
about
got
it.
a seventh.
Not happy about it.
It's coming back for
say the
8.
least. Where does he go from here?
8, back to back.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
He said it right at the parade that he had.
Speaking of parade and hangovers,
Mess at the parade. Good for him. I mean, good for him. It was good to see him as a human and not some robot that, like, when he was frozen up in the great white tundra of the shitty-ass New England.
Yeah, it was definitely different to see him.
I wonder how much he drank to be like that.
I wonder what he drank to be
avocado
like that.
tequila. He said a little bit too much avocado
had
tequila.
One shot.
Probably. I bet he's a lightweight.
Oh, yeah. You know it wasn't strawberry.
I saw a meme on the Drinking Bros Sports where it said he only had 8 almonds that day or something like that, or 8 pecans.
That's probably his usual TB12 method of eating.
Did he ever rage like that in New England?
I don't think so. I think Bill would have been real upset if he did that. Now he's kind of like unleashed. I mean, Bruce Arians doesn't really care as much. He lets him do what he wants. That's why he was out there slinging it and winning his 7th in Tampa Bay.
Well, Bruce got a lot of grief this week, too, for being like a player's coach. I mean, he went on record saying that the Steelers fired him because he was too close to Ben Roethlisberger. But that was the beautiful thing about the relationship, I thought, was the relationship that Arians had. I mean, them forcing him out was kind of bullshit. So
he's a player's coach for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that if you want longevity, you kind of need to have your thumb down on some of these players. Maybe not Brady. He's been around
you
for
absolutely
so long.
do. Yeah.
But like with Belichick, if Arians was Brady's coach right off the bat, they'd maybe start off hot, but I don't know if they'd be able to sustain it. That's why it's okay for Brady now to be in Tampa and doing what he's doing. But the thing with Belichick, it's probably really frustrating to play with him, even though Antoine Harris told us it wasn't that frustrating to play for him. But I can understand how he can wear on you, for sure. Yeah. Not giving him any credit. That was Brady's thing. He always complained he didn't get enough credit.
I mean, I can't stand the guy, but as a perfectionist, he is what you want in a quarterback. He is exactly what you're looking for. So, I mean, you can't deny. I hate it. I hate it. I had to kiss the ring when they were down 28-3. And a buddy of mine made me kiss his freaking ring when I said, if Brady comes back, I will kiss your ring from this. And
I want to kiss your tramp stamp that we learned about.
No, we're not going to.
We learned some things in Austin, didn't we?
I wasn't even there, but I'm watching, sitting on the couch, healing from my hip reconstruction, and me and Diazepam and some coffee are hanging out. And
I thought you had labia reconstruction.
Oh, yeah, I did that too. Singer. So when you pulled up the back of your shirt, it looked like a Pac-Man icon. I felt like I was playing 1987.
I thought it was an Iron Man triathlon tattoo.
Should have been a bullseye.
Shit. Look, I mean, the story's out there for all to hear. Go back and re-examine it. Yeah, re-examine the story if you want to, but I'm not rehashing.
By the way, if you didn't see the show and you don't know who we're sitting here with, this is Buddha from Copper Still Records. They actually manage this shit show.
Yeah.
And for once, he got to go on, but you went straight to the big leagues. So we're minor leagues.
Yeah.
Straight to the
kind of got called out of
leagues,
nowhere.
baby.
Wasn't ready for it. I mean, wasn't
You
on
were
my
ready.
A game. No, I wasn't.
They mentioned your name and you whipped the shoes off.
They were giving me shit about being on the phone. They were giving me shit about being on the phone, and I was talking to his wife.
Oh, what were you doing on that phone?
I always talk to his wife about. What do you think? I mean, it's what we normally talk about. Like what the next kid's name's going to be. I mean, there's like weird little stuff. I'm joking, Ashley. I'm just joking. Totally a joke.
Jeez, but yeah, you got your big shot. You got your big shot on the stage. You showed up. And we actually had to manage the manager on this trip. We really did.
So?
We really managed the manager on this trip.
Yeah, yep.
Yes, Chef Puhak, when we got into Austin, we decided the first night, because we were shooting all day at the Drinking Bros headquarters at their studio, and so we were shooting there the whole next day. So we put a time limit on our partying, and it was 11:30 p.m.
Right.
We said we're going to be done by 11:30. And probably about, 11:15, we were at Narbar We had met Jesse Fortney from the Nar Bar, which is this gnarly bar.
Yeah.
It's all about skating and surfing and
rad.
snowboarding. It's like an X Games bar. It was super sick. And he brings out 2 ladies, sits them down at the bar, 2 pretty ladies. But it was right at the 11:20 mark. And I was like, boys, we got to go. And you guys were both like, no. But yes, Buddha from Copper Steel Records, they are sponsoring tonight's show because, we are hungover and we didn't want to come and get a guest right off the bat trying to recover from the copious amounts of drinking that took place in Austin.
Yep.
So we do have Chef Puhak over there on the grill. He's cooking us some, what is it, hangover nachos?
I'm making some hangover nachos, man. Guy Fieri's got some trash can nachos, so what I'm going to do is Pail of Shame. Drinking Bros Pail of Shame nachos. He always talks about going to Flavor Town. Well, we're going to Pound Town, baby. We're going to go straight to Pound Town with flavor.
I think you start with Flavor Town, and then you go to Pound Town.
Yeah, like Flavor Town is like where we stop and take a piss as Drinking Bros.
Well, that's the foreplay.
We
The Flavor
piss in
Town's the
Flavor Town,
foreplay.
and then we take a stop in Pound Town, and that's where we're going. But
Man, it sounds like
wanna-
walking through
I want to
Austin.
talk about this competition. I want to talk about this dip contest debate.
I bet you do. Are you
Yeah.
sure you do?
I wasn't. Yeah,
dude.
I'm positive. I'm positive.
Oh, man.
I'm coming for Eric Tansey and Jesse Wiseman on this one. So, who won?
Oh, she won
She beat
hands
your
down,
ass.
man. It was
She
a
whooped
good,
your ass, man.
listen, when you're
I
hanging
saw the
out with
stories.
when you're hanging out with the Drinking Bros, what I think where we went wrong is we got to keep it simple. We got to dumb it down a little bit.
Too bougie.
We were a little too bougie on this one. We went a little too hard. We went a little too hard.
No, I think there was some collusion with Clay Herzing, a.k.a. the real Biggs Malone on Instagram.
Who was a riot, by the way.
Gosh, one of the
He's
funniest
hilarious
human
and a
beings. One of
giant
the
man.
funniest
Yes.
human
But
beings.
I didn't learn anything about Jesse's dip or Eric's dip. All I learned about was that Clay bites his toenails, and that Eric's dip tasted like toenails. He's only capable of 2 erections a month. Okay, he has to spend them wisely. In addition to that, Ross told him to shut the fuck up multiple times. He has a good credit score.
He also told me to shut the fuck up a couple of times.
Well, he's saying Creed with me, so.
Clay was holding Jesse's dip on his penis, so that's why I'm saying there's collusion going on.
Well-
because he right out of the gate, he took the winning dip and put it on his crotch.
All right, well, you want my honest opinion. I tried the dip, and it was very good.
Yeah, I
but
thought it-
Oh, I don't doubt. I
But
don't
the other
doubt
one was
Madam
better.
Wiseman's dip was good.
in true honest, love you, Puhak, but the other dip was better.
God,
Honestly, it was
dang.
better.
honestly, I think it's,
Yeah.
it's
I blame it
more
on
about
Whole
your
Foods.
taste.
I blame it on Whole Foods.
Yeah, it was all that
Um,
organic bullshit.
If I would have been able to get those ingredients from a real grocery like Food Lion, we would have won. But they
Food Lion
don't
better
have.
sponsor us at
yeah,
this
Food
point.
Line,
They
Food
do.
Line, you
They
do
do.
want to sponsor us. I mean, we really love Food
Well,
Line.
that's where I went to
So-
shop for the ingredients tonight. The 2 of them were like, "Gosh, I wish we had Food Line ingredients." So I went back to the basics. One of the fans said, "When we tailgate, we don't want bougie all the time." One of them was like, I'm not going to go out and buy Wagyu. Make it bougie. So I know these fuckers are all hungover. I'm fine. I was here recovering from surgery. But anyways, we're going to go basic and we're going to make some trash can nachos. But we're going to call them what did I say? Pail of Shame or something like that.
The shame nachos.
I went straight to Food Lion. I grabbed some great shitty ingredients, and I'm going to get started on making some nachos that we can munch on while we're podcasting.
Oh, well, I'm excited because I've got to get something to soak up this beer. I ate so much in Austin, Texas. The food scene down there is insane. I think I gained that's one thing I learned from this podcast, that I need to lose a lot of weight. So I started a diet as soon as I got home, and I'm not drinking anymore. I'm taking a break from it. But being that Copper Still is the sponsor of tonight's show, and you're the manager of this entire shit show, where do we go from here? Football's over. What do we got coming up?
Well, football never really ends. I mean, this is when it gets kind of exciting, where you start getting into the off season, who's going where, what's happening. You got the draft. I mean, football is a year-long process. It really is. I mean, as a football lover, you don't ever stop. I mean, watching what's going on. In fact, I think I read more about the teams in the off season than I do actually during the season.
Yeah.
During the season, during the season, it just sort of happens.
And I
Things
think this
happen.
offseason is going to be wild.
Oh, it's
because
insane.
There's
I
going to be a
mean-
lot of movement happening, especially at the quarterback position. Everyone knows the
Absolutely.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, everybody needs a quarterback and wants a quarterback, and then teams are supposedly dumping quarterbacks. I mean, you have Russell Wilson, possibly rumors of a trade of Russell Wilson. I mean,
I'll take him on my team.
Oh, I'll take him all day long. As a Steeler fan, man, I mean, there's only a couple quarterbacks I would love to see in Pittsburgh beside Roethlisberger. I mean, Roethlisberger, I love him, but it's time in my opinion, to move on.
Well, you want
to retire.
Sam Darnold on those Steelers. We talked
I
about
do
that a
like
little
Darnold.
bit.
I really do. I think size-wise, he fits the mold. But if I had my choice, number one would be Deshaun Watson. Number two would be
course.
Russell Wilson. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they dangled him out there as trade bait for a little bit.
And they
there.
did draft a quarterback in the first round last year, Jordan Love.
That's what I'm saying. So you have so much movement that could potentially happen. So being a Steeler fan, I'm looking for the future. I mean, so that's why you want somebody young, and then Watson and Darnold fit that role. If you want to win right now, Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Wilson's only a few years in, 6 years in?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you how old he is off the top of my head, but he's probably like 32 at the oldest. But the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, I want to call it, is going to be the biggest thing of the offseason.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, it sounds to me like the Texans are going to do everything they can to kind of hold on to him when he's made it very clear he does not want to play
They're playing chess is all that they're
that's
absolutely
true.
doing. They're playing chess. So what they're doing is building up his trade value.
Yes, and you have to get the most for him.
Yeah. They're going to get a lot for him. I mean, I've seen speculation for teams having to get up their first and second this year, their first and second next year, plus a couple very good players. I mean,
you run the Steelers, you do that?
If I was the Steelers, there's certain players I wouldn't give up, but I've heard rumors about them. You know, like T.J. Watt. Wouldn't give up T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt is the Steelers have always been defensive proud. I mean, defensive heavy, and having a player like T.J. Watt who got fucked as defensive player of the year. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, statistically against Darnold. No, Aaron
Donald.
Aaron Donald, yeah. And I love Aaron Donald. I'm a Pitt guy. I went to Pitt, so I love Aaron Donald too. But statistically, I mean, in every category other than one, T.J. Watt beat him.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest. With
absolutely.
A lot of those
I think it's BS, and you can't say that T.J. Watt isn't popular, being J.J.'s brother and having the pedigree. And
well, the Rams are interesting. I mean, they just made that trade, Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff.
Absolutely,
the poor man's Ryan Gosling. And honestly, they want to repeat what the Bucs just did and be the second team ever.
But is Stafford the man for that?
I think so. He's a slinger. Really? Oh, yeah, Stafford can sling it.
He's a slinger, but I mean, I know he's been like in Detroit hell. It's like being stuck in Cleveland.
Yeah, but when he had Calvin Johnson, they made shit happen.
They did. Okay,
they couldn't really win. But that's not his fault.
Well, that's
I don't think that's his fault. I think that it's Detroit. No, Barry Sanders was in Detroit and he couldn't win.
Yeah,
Stafford is legit. He can sling it. He'll always be able to sling it. He's just one of those guys. You know, he's like a Brett Favre type, where he'll lose you a game or two, but he'll win you a couple with his arm too, you know. And he's tough as nails, even since his days at Georgia, where he was one overall pick.
Going back to Favre, I mean, if Mahomes didn't look like Favre in the Super Bowl, I don't know anybody. I mean, some of the throws he was making, and like underhand and sidearm, and just crazy, just
laid out, diving laid out.
Yeah, but the problem is, I mean, you hit the guys in the face mask in the arms. I mean, it was sick. They couldn't catch a cold.
I mean, he was having to apologize for hitting people in the hands. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to throw the ball right to your hands.
Exactly.
And you fucking drop it.
Yeah. I mean, they make you wear a mask on the airplane from the time you go into the airport.
Not if you're Boston Joe. Boston Joe, they get to tell you so many times that they're going to kick you off the plane.
Exactly.
Above your nose and below your chin, please, or we will kill you. Have a good one.
Were you guys drinking on the plane or what?
No.
The manager here was the only one drinking before 10 a.m.
Well,
Buddha's like, hey, we've got a 2 hour. Buddha's like, we got a 2 hour layover. What does everybody want to drink? I was like, you're the best manager ever.
Yeah.
Listen, when I was saying where do we go from here, I didn't mean where we go with football from here. I mean, where do we go as a show from here?
I mean,
who are you getting us? What kind of guests you got lined up for us?
We've got a whole bunch of different guests in the pipeline. I mean, everything from, we got some golf guys that are going to be coming in because, you know, we got to fill a lot of space. We've got some NFL guys that are going to be in here that we've talked to. We want a professional skater and some of those guys. So we kind of want to span the gamut with the guests. I mean, we want to do everything from the X Games to, I mean, I want to get some soccer stars on the show.
Sure.
International.
So, Copper Still Records, they do run this show for us. They take care of all of our needs. They're more than just a record studio. They do. What else do you guys do? You guys do lessons during the week.
Yeah, there's lessons during the week.
You have a podcast studio, and the podcast studio is actually ran by producer Noel White, who produces this show.
It's not just a podcast studio; it's a full music studio. We'll be able to record entire albums. Hell, if the Grateful Dead walked in right now, we could record the Grateful Dead. We have the capabilities to do it. And it's going to be a bar, so we're kind of
bar looks amazing back there, by the way, and a concert stage. And then Noel, the producer that's in the audio booth, he's a producer for Sting, for several other bands. Noel,
Well, I wouldn't say. I'm one of the stage guys for Sting. I tour with them. I don't make records with Sting, but when he tours live, I can't remember that. What that was like. It's been so long.
Yeah. How long did you tour with Sting?
I was with Sting for the last 10 years, and 10 years before that, jazz legend Herbie Hancock. So I met a lot of people while working with Herbie. Cool thing about Herbie is he hires a different band every year. So I met so many fabulous musicians, and then Vinnie Colaiuta, considered one of the world's best drummers. He was with Herbie for a few years, and then Sting asked Vinnie to come back and drum for him. So then Vinnie dragged me on the Sting tour, and that was 10 years. And I was touring right up until last year. I mean, our last show was in Philadelphia in October, and then all of a sudden, 4 months later, COVID hit, and we haven't done a show since then. We had no idea we weren't going to be seeing each other for.
But then you came in here. You started this program or helped start this program in here.
I had to make lemonade. There was nothing else to do. I mean, because
you found us.
I'm a tour guy.
We're your lemonade.
Yep. I met Buddha, and Buddha was
same
like,
color anyway.
Let's build a studio, and so I still had all my gear. Fortunately, thank God I didn't sell all my stuff. So it was in a storage locker, and we started building this studio a few months back, and we should be open. We are going to be open first week of March. We'll start making records.
Do you ever think you would be doing sound for the Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legends?
If I had any idea that this was in my future, you
would have killed yourself.
You would have gone
Kurt Cobain yourself real quick.
We have totally fucked up.
It's been so good to just have something to just take our mind off of all this insanity every week. It's a blast.
You have fun.
Yeah.
Don't lie. You have fun.
No,
you're traveling to Austin with us next time. You're not getting out of it.
Oh no, I would love to. I got to get down there. The audio company, the microphone company, Warm Audio's down there in Austin too, and they're awesome. So I want to go out there and check out their little plant. They got a big studio down there, and Lord knows, Austin.
And you can show us your tramp stamp when you get down there.
No tattoos.
So when you
You
get down to the Triangle, you got to look up Copper Still Records if you're needing something produced, music wise, podcast wise, anything that has to do with
come
sound.
check out the bar, the shows that we're getting
the
ready to
bars,
have.
the music. It's just an absolute fantastic place.
Drink in-store rum here,
and they manage you too. So I mean, they take care of all of our flights, they take care of all of our dinners, our kind of everything. Making sure we're on the plane on time, making sure we're where we're supposed to be, make sure our Ubers are lined up. So
we were way too early for those plans.
They're a total package.
I sat around in my pajamas with my Nintendo that you guys
Yes, Boston Joe likes to travel in his pajamas. I'm still not happy about that.
I just want to be clear for all the people out there. These guys are showing their age when they say that I'm in pajamas. I was wearing joggers, people. Joggers. Sweatpants. And they're like, "Oh, look at Joe in his pajamas."
Dude, you had a Space Force pajama shirt on.
It was a set.
It was a
matching set.
Underoos.
It was a matching
they
set.
had underoos. He was wearing fucking
Shout out
underoos
Space
on the
Force.
airplane.
Buddha had
Space Force.
his leather bag made by Gucci, his Gucci leather bag. I forgot my carry-on, so I had nothing. And you were wearing pajamas, so we really looked the part. We looked professional. We really showed up to Austin, and we made things happen. Also sponsoring this show tonight, whiskeywear.com. Whiskeywear, WARE.com. Customizable premium whiskey glasses, tumblers, and infinity bottles, decanters. You can see them up top, but there is no minimum order on these glasses. We drink from them all the time. Matter of fact, Drinking Bros Sports is actually talking about picking these up as part of their line, and they'll have them up on the website. And so if you're not drinking out of a Whiskeywear glass, well, you're wrong, because there's nobody else doing premium customizable beadless rimmed whiskey glasses on the interwebs. They are the only people doing it. Big supporters of the military. They do discounts. There's actually a Drinking Bros Sports promo code for whiskeywear.com, and that promo code is LEGEND. So if you just type in LEGEND, I believe it's all caps. It might be, if that doesn't work, try it without capital letters, and I'll put that out on our website. But it's LEGEND is the promo code, and that gets you 10% off of any order from whiskeywear.com. Also, Instill Distilling Company, makers of the finest rums in North Carolina, North America. Also, they just made their rum available in Florida.
I actually heard
and that's what Tom Brady was drinking.
Canada. Just half of Canada.
Just half of Canada.
Which half?
The very
the good
cold
half.
side.
The good half.
The good half.
Calgary.
They're good.
Ontario,
Do you guys watch Canadian football?
I have watched.
Is that
it,
what
yes.
rugby is?
No, Canadian
wish.
football. It's just they play with meters, so the field's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I know Canadian football. Doug
Well, then you
Flutie's the
just asked
goat.
It was fucking rugby. I mean, if you
I
know
just
it so
get a
well.
rugby
You know what
shout
else
out in
Doug
there.
Flutie's the goat at? Cornhole.
Yeah, that's right. Apparently so. We saw him.
really?
We saw him do a little bit of that on the in the airport. He was playing.
Oh, I didn't see you. Okay, I must have been getting my beer.
Yeah, Doug
We got
Flutie.
some tailgate food over there, Chef Puhawk.
Yeah, no, bring the camera over to that plate. We've got these pale of shame nachos ready for you guys. I'm gonna put them right here in the middle of this table, and we're gonna rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, baby.
So we were talking about Brady to start the show. I think now's a good time to have
look at
our
those.
way too soon. Am I supposed to hold this?
Yes.
Put it down there.
Find a space.
Oh,
Look at that.
Things are
Holy
wild.
cow.
Holy hell!
Text the back so they know that there's a plate ready for them too off camera.
I want to get the way too early predictions on next year's Super Bowl. I was looking at the power rankings right after the Super Bowl was over. They have the Bucs at third. The dumbest thing. Are you trying to motivate Brady? Everyone knows a motivated Brady is bad news for the rest of the league. They have.
Yeah, but where did they start out though? I mean, this season they probably started out
Doesn't matter how they finish.
halfway through.
Doesn't matter
No,
how you start. It's how you
that's what I'm
finish.
saying though. I mean, the power rankings are all bullshit. They fluctuate based off of the most ridiculous. I don't even know what kind of analytics they use, and they're using power rankings.
Well, it gives us something to talk about. And the Chiefs are ranked at number 1, and the Bills, who were a year too early, in my opinion, were at number 2. And they're my pick to make it to the Super Bowl
Yeah, I
and
think
lose to
Josh
Tom
Allen-
Brady.
No, I don't think they're going to lose. I mean, it's really cool to see what the Bills are doing. I mean, they're great. Being
Josh
from Pittsburgh,
Allen's
you
the real
appreciate
deal.
You appreciate good fans, like good, not wholesome fans, because they're the most unwholesome, but the nicest friggin' people. There's a couple Bills fans out there watching right
They're
now.
loyal.
So, but yes, they're loyal.
Everywhere we
Bills
go,
Mafia.
everywhere we
So-
go, we have
Seriously,
the
they're
Bills
everywhere.
Mafia.
Bills
Every
Mafia.
fucking where.
Yep.
And then they got the Rams closing out the top 5 for the power rankings, which I can see them making to the NFC Championship game. I don't see them getting past the Bucs, but with Stafford and the rest of that defense that they have,
The
they're
Bucs are
be
going to have
there.
to hold their team together. I mean, they have a
I think they
lot. You do?
Yeah.
So one of the rumors today I was reading about was that Odell Beckham going. I don't know if you saw that. I don't, because him and Tom Brady, I guess, are tight.
Yeah, he's
How
also
the
tied with
hell
Antonio
are they
Brown.
gonna get Odell Beckham there and keep like Sue and Gronk? and
Yeah,
all
well,
these
that's
other
why
guys
I
on the
wouldn't
team?
make
don't-
that move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
If they lock up their center, who's one of the best centers in the league, Ryan Jensen, you get that back and forth with Brady, sign him for like a 2-year deal because that's probably all Brady's got left, right? Solidify that defense a little more, draft a linebacker, and that team's going to be right back in there if they stick with their core group.
You want the
Obviously, you got
community
Brady, you got Gronk, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I don't know the deal with Antonio Brown. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with him. He'll probably end up getting arrested this offseason.
Yeah, he's going to do something.
He'll do
Look, I've got my eyes set on Cleveland this year.
Ooh,
Well, you
sleeper
do.
pick.
I think
Little Baker
yeah,
Mayfield.
you know what? I mean, you want to talk about true underdogs, man, and I like the underdogs, but the way too early pick for me this
See,
year.
you know, I actually want to root for Cleveland, but they are such a bunch of assholes on that team. I mean, they truly
Who's an
are.
asshole? Miles Garrett?
No, fucking Baker Mayfield. I mean, guys,
like Baker
I don't
Mayfield.
know. I mean,
Hook me
it's
up
the
too,
cockiness
JoJo.
and you know, and there are certain guys in the Steelers I'm not real happy with because of the same type of attitude. I mean, I'm calling out Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean,
He's too busy TikToking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not the Steeler way that I'm used to. I mean, you go out there and improve yourself on the field. You beat them up and punch them in the nose. That is, I mean, and I think he seems like a great guy. He does a lot for charity. I mean, I always hear such cool stuff that he's done. But to me, that's not football.
It's definitely not
I'm
Steelers
still
football.
I'm still 1970s Jack Lambert, Jack Ham.
Steroids,
No,
know.
that was dude.
Steel Curtain was juicing
Jack-
for sure.
Jack
Mean
Lambert,
Joe Green.
Jack Lambert weighed 210 pounds.
You also think Terry Bradshaw's good. Terry Bradshaw sucks. He wouldn't
What
even
are
be
you
a backup
talking
in
about?
today's NFL.
Dude, no, if you took a beating like Terry Bradshaw took in the 70s, you wouldn't be playing right now. Tom Brady would, I mean, he cries when somebody hits him in, hits him in the breast. I mean, but Terry Bradshaw would get suplexed, and
No, he would.
and he'd
And
miss
he'd throw
like
3
half of-
interceptions, and his defense would save him, and they'd win.
Oh, is that what you think?
Are you implying
You
that
better
he
go
would-
back and watch some film.
Are you implying that he would be a chest feeder? One of those types that goes and chest feeds
Like
their
Ben
children?
Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that.
I
You
went
like
there.
you like going on those Roethlisberger jokes.
I
think
do. I
he's
can't
a,
help it.
I
I
think he's a
can't
nice
help it.
modern
He's a
You don't
gentleman.
like
man.
you don't like him,
I
Joe.
think he cleaned it up.
You don't like
I think he's got a
Roethlisberger?
fat face.
gosh, dang.
Listen, he goes
I mean,
he goes to
seriously?
Austin and has Jesse
got a pretty
Wiseman
boy.
nickname him, or the Drinking
Blue-
Broettes.
maybe Blue Eyes.
They nickname him Boston Blue Eyes.
Let me get some more
And all of a
nachos, Blue
sudden,
Eyes,
it goes straight to his head,
Por
and he
favor,
thinks
I'm
he's
hungry.
the prettiest person on earth.
No, my mom's been calling me pretty for years now, so I didn't need them to tell me. All right.
Wicked
Shout out
snap.
Lori Campobasso.
Yeah.
I'm giving her a
She
shout out.
shouts you out on Facebook.
Give her a shout out.
Oh, she sure does. A face
that?
only a
I'll
mom.
give his
you,
mom a
dude.
shout out.
Gracias.
Yeah. Buddha is the king of giving mother shout outs.
You stay away from my mom. I shouldn't have brought her up.
Dad did. Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, we gotta address that.
Yes, I do need a beer.
Oh,
Need a beer?
I'm never drinking again.
Yeah, I'll have a beer. I'd
Let me
love
get one more of
Thank
those.
you very much.
Thank you.
We
Yeah.
are the drinking bros after
We
all.
learned
That's
so
what we
much.
do.
Boston Joe doesn't know who his real father is.
I know who my dad is.
Is he out there?
He's got to be out there somewhere. I
I think
don't
he's
know.
listening to this show.
That would be
Do you do the 5
interesting.
song?
Thank you very much.
You ever do the 5 song?
The Five
Yes,
song. I'm
dude,
not familiar.
Somewhere
Dude,
out
Buddha.
there.
Let's pause. I guarantee he has no idea who Fievel is.
I know he doesn't. He doesn't know who the Steelers' defense is.
I don't
Steel
think-
Curtain either.
I'm
so-
28 years old.
I don't think you were born yet when Fievel came.
No,
out.
he definitely
1992.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
the year I was born.
I
Yeah,
was
it makes you feel
freshman in
real
college.
old.
Freshman in
Huh?
college, yeah.
Those grays are showing a little bit more every time I say
Shut
that,
up.
huh? You silver
Shut
fox,
up,
you.
BJ.
Listen, I may have been Boston Blue Eyes, but we had the silver fox over
Whatever.
here all weekend.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. And then we had me, the old shameful Tasmanian devil, who partook in the.
I think you
the
should do
rugby
the dance
guy.
moves. The dance moves after the Super Bowl podcast were off.
Oh, I wish we had video of that.
Is he really good?
It's unreal. You had, by the way, Dan was wearing a girl's jacket, orange
saw
girl's
that.
jacket. It was awesome.
On purpose?
Yes, he borrowed it, and he looked dead sexy in it as Tansy did this
Didn't smile
dance
once.
up and down the bar that we were at, and
Yeah, a little bit of
pretty
liquid,
impressive.
little liquid courage, and a bar full of dudes makes me apparently dance a lot.
I'm trying to show off for those dudes.
I
huh?
guess I'm not
Yeah,
sure what I
YMCA
was
came
doing. I did get yelled at for not having my mask on when I got out of the Uber, but we won't address that.
Oh, I got yelled at getting out of that Uber. Couple nice young females
Who Ubered?
approached me.
Who yelled
Yeah,
at you?
I'm
asked
pretty
for
sure
it. I
that
asked for it.
that she doesn't need a mask. She needs to tame that cholesterol. That's gonna
Shout
kill
out
her.
to fat chicks.
That's gonna kill her way before the COVID's get her. And that's just my humble opinion. After she berated me,
Yeah, she called me ugly.
she did. That's where it started.
yeah, but your
she said-
retort of "you're
she
fat"
said
just came right back. I mean,
I
you
did
were
not-
like on point.
Did you
I mean,
really
like,
do that?
instantaneous.
No.
fat
I don't.
shamed.
I do not fat shame, even though
Oh,
it
you're
works.
such a liar.
What I did was I talked shit.
No,
I
it
talked
works.
shit because they were wearing Chief stuff, and I said, "Hey, better luck next year. You guys will be back." And she's like, "Sorry, your dick isn't as big as you wish it was." And I was like, oh,
Why did she
Jesus.
go straight to that, man?
I don't know.
And then
'cause that's
she-
what women
His
do.
pants were down.
She looks.
I was wearing my pajamas. She saw the
could see
bulge.
it. It was
I'm trying to get out of the
talking about?
Uber, and I put my rugby ball down because I was carrying a rugby ball all night. And so I put my rugby ball down, and I'm catching just the end of this argument that they're having in the middle of the sidewalk. And I get out, and I just go, "Whoa!" And she was like, "Yeah, nice mask." And I was like,
Mask shaming. I bet you I can guess who she voted for.
That's like third grader
Right?
flirting. Nice mask.
Yeah. I told her to
hate
get
you.
cucked.
I told her she was fat.
Get
so-
cucked.
Get
Yeah.
cucked with your mask, please. The fuck out of here. Speaking of mask, though, Brady got mask shamed before the game. There's
Yes,
a video
he
of
did.
him walking in looking dapper as ever, must I say. But he
No,
was walking in, he was walking in without his
He
mask.
dresses like a Karen, like a female Karen. I know you
And he
love
looks
him, dude.
good doing it, though.
He has like a pea coat on. His hair's done.
Yeah, Giselle probably
What's wrong
dressed
with
him. I
the
think
peacoat?
Giselle knows about fashion.
I have a
little bit.
pea coat. But
Yeah, then you're.
You know what
You
you smell? Jealousy.
I have
smell
a chef
jealousy.
like Elton shoulders.
you're fat.
Well, you're
Hawk.
fat.
I'm just. I mean,
I mean,
I'm
a
just
fat
saying.
chef is probably a good thing, right? I mean,
Not
I mean, it's
fat.
a sign. Yeah,
a
you're not
sign
fat,
like his
man.
own
That's why you're
The
not a
fucking
good chef.
BMI index is not a thing anymore, guys. BMI is out the fucking door. It's how you carry it. BMI has been. It was eliminated in the 90s.
No, but Brady got mass shamed, and then he was also called a racist because he beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, an African-American quarterback, on Black History Month.
So that's racist.
Yes,
I
the
would've,
woke mob needs to go get fucked,
Yeah.
first of
Well,
all, on Twitter with your blue check marks.
I think that one's right.
Oh, yeah, you think? So Brady's a racist now.
I think so.
I think so
all right.
too.
This just in.
Speaking of woke mob, there was a congresswoman that's I guess like heading up the whole the second impeachment here, and she's got a whole bunch of nudes that are out.
where
So
they at?
I just googled congresswoman nudes, right?
Saw 'em.
Thinking she's got to be the only one. No, there's like a whole slew of congresswomen. They'd be showing those boobies online. But to be honest with you, the one that's like really just the real cutthroat that's just going after Trump and just really shaming on him, her nudes were tasteless.
Oh, Pelosi? Was it Pelosi?
No, God,
Susie
no.
wouldn't approve
No,
of those nudes?
I think her name was like Plaskett or something. I can't even remember what her
She can get cut too.
staffers or something. I can't remember what her name was. But
Buddha said he wanted to see
but there was a
Pelosi.
lot, man. There was a lot of congresswomen that are showing their boobs, and I'm thinking.
Could
well,
you
I mean,
imagine
geez.
Nancy Pelosi's
I didn't know
boobs?
that.
Blech.
I've never shared
Looking
my
like
boobs.
rotten tomatoes hanging on the vine.
Oh man,
Let's be nice.
Yikes.
that would be depressing.
Yikes.
Picture that.
Well, since we're talking about masking and COVID, we know this while we were out in Austin that Duke and UNC were playing each other, both unranked, which is almost unheard of. I think it was 1960, right?
1960 was the last time
So it's the first
they played
time
each other.
they played each other, that they were unranked since 1960. UNC wins the game. They go out and celebrate because obviously that's a big Tobacco Road rivalry. They get
big
seen.
win.
Yeah, I guess they go. They get seen partying without masks.
Sure.
So then they cancel their next
But
game
you know what?
against Miami.
I'm so over the hypocrisy of the mask thing. When we were in Austin, Austin's wide open. There's no curfew. There's no nothing. You have to wear a mask to get into the bar. All you have to do is present a mask, put it on. Once you cross the gate, you have to keep the mask on until you have a drink.
Well, the
Once you
virus
have
can't get you then, dude.
Once you have a
it's
drink
right
in your hand, it's just game on. And so you have thousands of people. I mean, when I say thousands, I mean thousands of people
the
packed
streets are
in like
blocked off.
sardines.
Yeah,
Every
blocked
single bar grinding on each other, taking each other, loving each other, switching partners, beer bonging on each other.
Oh, body shots, belly button shots.
Yes, everything.
That was just
The whole
Buddha.
9 yards. But you had to have a mask to get
Hey,
in the bar.
did you guys take shots off of his back tattoo?
We should have. I
not
didn't
the only
get that
thing we
drunk.
took on
Yeah,
that back
and
tattoo.
It's not the only shot we put on that back tattoo.
Hey.
hey yo. Yeah, that was
Target
bad.
practice.
That was gross. My wife
was
is super disappointed in me with this podcast. There's not a episode that goes by that I don't disappoint her with
good.
something.
She told
go
me
all in.
ridiculous
last time you
that I
guys
said.
called me at the same time on speakerphone about cooking something. She kind of said that, but in a much more diplomatic way.
Oh, she's proud. I'm sure she's
she
proud.
loves it.
Look at you. You're making it. We made it. We made the big show, all right? We were laying on that ghost bed, snugging up together,
It's the most comfortable I've ever been on a ghost
watching
bed.
the Super Bowl, couple broettes, and just living the dream. I mean, this
living
is
the dream. I was
what we live
fat.
for.
That camera added like 10 pounds
Sure.
to my midline. So, and speaking of fat shaming and people saying things over the interwebs, you blew up on the interwebs. You've made some pretty controversial posts. You're new to Drinking Bro Sports. You come out of the gate swinging, and you're locking down hundreds of comments, arguing, trolling everybody on that side.
I'm trying to keep up at this point. My phone's never been blowing up more. Than
How many followers did you pick up? Like you went from like 13 followers to like, what are you, like cresting 100?
13 followers. Fuck you, Mister. I got 1,030 or whatever.
Didn't some kid shame you about your followers?
Yeah, he called
the
me
other day?
45.
He
So
called
he
you
was like
45,
14.
and he said, how many followers do you
Well,
have?
the
You had, like
yeah.
127. He had like
It was in the
4,000.
300s, but that's okay.
He had like 4,000 or
Go
something
out and
like
follow
that.
Boston Joe 16 on Instagram. Help get my followers up so that these motherfuckers won't give me shit.
Wasn't
anymore.
there something about your like forehead to
I don't
eye
use the
ratio or
Instagram.
some shit like that? Let's
the
talk
eye-
about this
What was his name?
motherfucker.
AJ Gamble. Or
Hey,
something.
AJ Gamble.
I love
Fuck you
AJ.
from
Dude,
Chef
Did you just
Puhawk.
totally
I
give
love
somebody
AJ Gamble.
I just
I
gave
love
I
you.
just gave a troll prop. So if
Yeah,
you're
you
out
did,
there
man.
listening, you got me,
Yeah,
you motherfucker.
block
Because
him.
it made me think. I was
I
looking
think-
at myself and everyone else was like, "Oh yeah, this is kind of weird."
No.
He was like Eric.
put these on.
He's like Eric. Let me get. Come hold this tape measure and
Yeah, it's a 5
measure
head.
this.
No, no.
Listen,
It's not a 4 head. It's a 5 head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my forehead isn't that big though. It's not like
Well, I'll
Peyton
tell you-
Manning big, is it?
It's getting there.
Well, debatable.
okay.
That's
you're
debatable.
fine, man.
Yeah. Wait till you're already.
All
No,
because
I
of-
guess
all because of AJ Gonad saying that, huh?
AJ Gonad. I mean, I posted something about Brady because I knew it would get, the wheels spinning. And all I said was he's the greatest, most accomplished winner of all time in the 4 major sports. There is no debate. Let the debate begin. And sure enough, I'm obviously new to this because my phone was blowing up and I don't even know how to keep up. But a lot of the people were bringing up, this and that. Wayne Gretzky, okay, I can listen a little bit. Jordan, I can listen. But people bringing up Bill Russell and Yogi Berra. So first, with Yogi Berra, I mean, what are we talking? 1920s here? Who the hell cares about the 1920s Yankees when it was like, Babe Ruth? You think Babe Ruth could play in today's league? Yeah, right. That fat piece of shit couldn't
He
hit
was
a
kind of
single ball.
I wouldn't say he's a piece
I
of
thought you
shit.
liked
He
the
was
Sox.
fat.
Yogi
He was
Berra,
fat.
get him out of here. The Bill Russell argument, people trying to tell me, what about Bill Russell? He won 11 in 13 years. No shit. I'm from Boston. I think I fucking know that. But let's also be real. As much as Bill Russell is a legend in Boston. He could not compete in today's NBA. Today's NBA players would jump over Bill Russell.
No, I'll disagree with that. Bill Russell was a beast. I mean, he was way ahead of his time, and he could totally hang. Would he be as great?
No, he wouldn't win 11 and 13 years.
Okay, but also would he
no
have
three
had
in the key?
Would he have had the training? Would he have had the diet? Would he have had the exercise?
You can't teach size though. He's 6'9".
The fuckers smoke cigarettes in between.
That's true.
They would
literally
halftime. I mean,
do it out
seriously. I mean, you take an athlete of that kind of stature and give him what they have today to be great.
Sure.
So I think that argument is totally invalid because it's a totally different world. Same thing you want to knock on Bradshaw. You give Bradshaw the training that they have today. You give him everything that a modern athlete has and say, go out there and get it. Hell, I remember as a kid going to see the Penguins play, and you could smoke. Well, first of all, you could smoke in the arena, but the Penguins would smoke and drink beers in between periods.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a big deal. I mean, there are pictures. Jim Leland, I mean, it would in the very not too distant past, like the early 90s. Yeah, Jim Leland would smoke in the dugout.
I remember that.
Freaking chimney. I mean, it is a different.
You don't
type
think
of
Brady's ripping butts at halftime of the Super Bowl?
He's ripping somebody's ass at halftime. Not in a good way.
Some Gronk ass right there. But the thing, so Bill Russell, sure, maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he'd still make the league, but he'd be like Draymond Green. You know what I mean? He'd be like a stretch 4. Hopefully, he'd learn how to shoot. But there was no 3 in the key. He only went against Wilt Chamberlain, who's the most overrated basketball player of all time. Wilt Chamberlain, he didn't win shit, in my opinion. I think he scored 100 points against like guys who look like us.
Joe,
okay?
you're very angry right now.
You are very angry.
Hands to heart center.
But
Namaste.
I mean, seriously, I don't think that argument is valid when you take true professional athletes, like I said, take them out of that element, take them out of their smoking and drinking, whatever they were doing. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, they were raising families, and also the salaries that they had back then. Some of those athletes like sold cars in the off season and bartended and had to work at in a shoe department, make ends meet, and still went out there and produce what they did. I mean, they weren't paid like they were.
I think
I don't
Wilt
think
Chamberlain.
steroids were flowing as freely as they do now.
No, the steroid era didn't hit until the 80s, really. I mean, that's when it
You
started
look at,
hitting
like,
hard.
Yeah, right after the
era.
Steelers were done.
You
Conveniently.
think the guys were juicing when Babe
Exactly.
Ruth was out there? No.
They didn't know what juice was.
No. It
I
was,
mean, those
let me
guys,
get some
Jesus.
OJ with breakfast juice kind of thing.
Yeah. But the thing about Brady that started the whole debate is, people are arguing he's not even a good athlete and this and that. And I've never said Brady's a good athlete. His 40-yard dash time in the combine was a 5.2. I mean, I'm a slouch. I ran a 5 flat in high school. That's nothing. I'm faster than Tom Brady. But the thing is, he beats everyone with his mind and his heart. So you can't measure that.
No.
And that's what, to me, why I feel like, with all this debate, would Bill Russell be good at this time and Yogi Berra? Brady would be good at.
They had the heart? They had the
Not
heart,
like
man.
Brady. Brady's got the biggest heart in all of sports.
I
That's
don't know.
why I feel like you put him at any decade.
You know what I'm
You never saw Gretzky play. And getting back to like some of the greats. I mean, you never seen Gretzky play. You never seen Mario Lemieux play after he just went through and had Hodgkin's disease and came back from cancer and scored 3 games a game he came back.
Slayed it.
There's no more heart than some of these players that go out there and they take physical abuse day in and day out. So I'm a big proponent of these guys, and I think Brady is right up there. I'm not knocking Brady, but I don't think as far as being the greatest athlete of anything that you can say he's the greatest athlete of all time because there are several people.
Because Richie
that
McCall from the New Zealand All Blacks was the greatest.
To be fair, I did say the
could be.
4 major sports, which does not include
Okay,
rugby.
so we're going
Is
to
football
is this
a major
worldwide?
sport? I bet you there's more. Well, I guess they make
There's
more
more
money.
people that watch highlight than the NFL. believe
Listen,
it or not.
I'm shitting on rugby just to fuck with you. Rugby's great, whatever. But
Rugby's
there is
great, whatever. Go ahead.
there is no level of competition higher, in my opinion, than the NFL right now. These guys are freaks. Look at these guys.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Come on. If you can win
they're
at the
human
highest level
beasts.
now, then you can win at any time, at any point. Especially when Brady's not like LeBron. He's not just dominating and has these genetics that he can just run up and down the floor with anyone and dominate them. He's beating them with this and with that. And I pointed to my head and my heart for the people who are listening right now. But
To his penis.
yeah.
Yeah, so you
he's
keep talking
packing
about
for
these
sure.
measurements with Brady. I know something that
It's
you'd
like
like to
9.5,
measure on him.
10
yeah.
inches,
You
I'm
want to
thinking.
measure that?
Dude, I mean, for real.
why do you think Giselle walks like that?
Gosh, man, this went further
She
than I
wears the
wanted to
pants
go.
in the family.
There was
What
a
do you
line,
mean that's
I
why
set
she
a
walks
line
like
and you
that?
fucking stepped over it.
Do you think she's pegged Brady? Do you think he's into that?
I don't think
my
about
gosh.
stuff like that, man. That's
Am I the
that's
only
where you're
one?
sick and
I bet
twisted
he does.
head.
I'm sure.
me either.
I'm sure. I think so.
You can't
I
knock
think-
it till you
I
try
think if
it.
you're that into football, you probably have you know what I mean? Like you're probably pretty
I'm leaning
explore.
way over here.
You're going to
You're
explore
fucking
other
weird.
options. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have that.
Once you've
previous
played the
guest.
whole field, you got to play the whole field, baby.
I guess that's true. He's wide open
this
with
was the-
arms wide open.
What happens if he doesn't come back?
He already said he's coming back. If
already
he
said he's
doesn't come
coming.
back, he's still the greatest ever. I'll
What if he
shed
comes
one
back and
single
flops? What if he comes back and flops?
tear. That's like Jordan with the Wizards, right?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Wizards.
Yeah, Fat Jordan.
I'm not afraid of it. I mean, honestly, unfortunately, that's what it's going to take for him to quit. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl. He's like, I can do it again. I can do more. It's going to take a year where he really gets his bell rung, gets an injury, God forbid, knock on some wood, or he really looks like shit and he's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Not to mention he has a brand. The TB12
How much
brand
longer
is
is he gonna
longevity.
do this? I mean, honestly, dude.
He used to
It's
talk
amazing.
when he was in Boston. He would say mid 40s. Now he's like, shit, I'm already there. What about 50? I could see him. being
Who
50
is the
years old.
oldest on record NFL player?
Steve, what's his name? Played for the Chiefs for a while.
Well,
he
like
played.
George
He was like a journeyman.
Blanda. Didn't he
George
become a
Blanda,
kicker
George
after?
Blanda was a kicker forever. He played for the Raiders forever.
But he's
How
the
old are we
oldest
talking?
positional player to make an impact.
the
Especially
oldest
in today's-
quarterback was Steve DeBerg. Steve DeBerg, I think, was the oldest quarterback.
but he didn't win 7 Super Bowls.
Dude, he didn't start 7 games.
Yeah,
That's why he was
exactly.
the oldest quarterback.
That's why
I mean, he
what
played.
he's
He played
doing-
for like 20 teams, and I bet everybody knew Steve DeBerg back in like.
But
the
how
80s
old
and
was
90s. Look it up,
I think
Google
he
it.
was 45.
But I think he was.
but he wasn't significant. That's the whole thing with Brady. He's at
He wasn't.
his best.
You're
I mean,
right, but I'm saying if once again
He
I'm
had
gonna
40
get the
touchdowns this
logistics.
year. That's the second most he's ever had in his whole career.
He retired at the age of 44.
There
Okay.
you go.
Wait a
Brady's
minute.
43.
DeBerg retired after a 1993 season, but briefly returned to the NFL in 1998 at age 44
Yeah.
as a backup to the Atlanta Falcons. On October 25th, with Chris Chandler unable to play, DeBerg became the oldest quarterback to ever start an NFL game. So we're talking like 44, 45.
But I think you're right. I think George Blanda was the oldest to
Yeah.
play there. I think he was.
But he's a kicker. It doesn't.
Yeah, Mark Burnell was
Yeah.
the number 9th oldest quarterback. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You just
played
know that because
forever,
he's from
man.
Florida.
I think Burnell just
Redskin,
became
Washington.
Can't say that.
Oh, the Redskins. I said it. Tom Brady's number 7 right now. Number 7th oldest.
I can see him playing
Right
in a
on.
wheelchair and stuff.
Doug Flutie, number
Flakes.
6, baby.
Shout out Flutie Flakes.
The food. Vinny Testaverde. That's who I was trying to think of.
Vinny Testicle Verde played
Yes.
forever too.
And he played for everybody forever.
Yes, he
Played for the
did.
Patriots for a little bit.
Could
Yeah.
you
He
imagine
was a
being
great
Vinny
Jet, man.
Testaverde though? Like you know, if you went to Ben Roethlisberger's house, like all the stuff he's gonna have is just Steelers memorabilia. But if you went to Vinny Testaverde's house, like because he's played for almost every team in the NFL, it's just like it's just fucking like
His man
jerseys
cave-
everywhere.
like
Man Cave has the worst
Fitzpatrick.
paint
Wallpaper.
scheme ever.
He gets to root for
The whole
everybody.
house is a man cave.
His whole house is a big game, just with him. Warren Moon, number 4th
Yeah,
oldest.
Warren Moon played.
He's the other GOAT in the CFL.
Yeah.
Him and Doug Flutie were the 2 greatest CFL
By
players
far.
of all
Steve
time.
DeBerg, number
is
3.
called Steve
Yep.
DeBerg.
John Nesser, never heard of her. Played for the
1931.
Columbus Panhandles.
Yeah, well, are you
what?
looking up the right sport?
Yeah, the Columbus Panhandlers. I mean,
Jesus, what are you even
that's
talking
what, that's
about
what
now?
the Browns turned into, the Panhandlers.
It was in the 1920s when
So
he
yeah,
played.
so we're not talking about 1920s
and then
bullshit.
number 1, George Blanda. Yep.
Yeah. So I was right about something.
For the
I was
Bears.
right there with you. I was right there with you. I had.
I think I should cook.
Other than the Panhandler guy, I mean, we pretty much rounded out the top 10. I think.
I should cook some.
I know my
goat.
shit.
We should have a like top player game, and I'm gonna cook goat for all the greatest of all time.
You're gonna
Well,
cook
there's only
goat?
one GOAT, and that's
Fuck yeah,
Thomas
you
Edward
like
Patrick
goat?
Brady Jr.
Man, I'll eat goat. Yes, I do
Have you
like
had it?
goat. I actually do
I know,
like it. It's pretty tasty.
Buddha told me that
We're
he
gonna
would
have to have Mama Ali back for that.
Oh yeah,
I'll
she
cook
was
some
a
goat.
she was a
Hey,
big goat
She
fan.
wanted to eat goat.
She
too.
talked about killing a goat. Let's do that.
What? Have her kill it?
I've done it. No, I mean I've done it.
She said she slit the goat's throat.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah,
if it's in pursuit of religion,
Some satanic
YouTube
ritual
will-
or something.
No.
Yeah. So
I'm out on that part.
you know,
Could
coming
you
up,
imagine that? She brings that whole posse back with her and kill
Oh
them.
dude,
I love those
I
guys.
think
Those
it's
guys
okay.
look great.
I seriously
No,
think
that's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
felt
totally
safer
is.
when they were around.
Visually, I would want to do it at night with a huge bonfire.
Dude, that goat
It'd
will
be
show up and its
terrifying.
horns will be painted and it'll be wearing all sorts of necklaces and stuff. right
you know
before it
what?
gets its throat
I had
slit.
so much fun with Mama Ali, but her crew did not like me or my jokes.
They
They did
love
not
me.
like
Just
you.
one didn't like
Dude, I
you.
got a hug from
I
a
thought they
guy.
were great, man.
I got a hug from a vegan after
Yeah,
I
they
cooked
invited me
meat
up to go pray
that
at their their mosque. And I said, nope. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'll go ahead and cook a pig. And I just walked away, and the guy
didn't
just
even
went
think
silent.
about it.
Yeah, it just sounds like that's a
You
southern
didn't even
thing.
think about it.
It's a
I was the
southern
only
thing.
one
You
who made
cook
the
a
fun.
pig.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
somebody
sure.
invites you to a barbecue. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna cook a pig.
You got
Yeah,
a
I'll
barbecue.
cook a
You're not going to
pig.
cook tofu.
So
Yeah.
Buddha told me today. I said I'm gonna do nachos. He said, "Don't do avocados. I would rather eat a well-roasted Ethiopian baby than avocados."
What
He
does a
said.
well-roasted Ethiopian baby taste like? Do you know?
Better
from
than an
experience?
unwell roasted one? I don't know. I mean, just
maybe properly done?
Yeah, we were going out to eat in Austin, and we ate at some restaurant like Fiery Taco or Flamin'
the
Taco.
cactus.
Iron
the
Oh,
Cactus.
Flamin' Cactus.
Iron
Iron
Cactus,
Cactus.
That sounds like an STD.
And,
It was good.
It was good, man. I always do the same thing at every restaurant. Being a huge foodie that I am,
What do you like?
I always say, I always ask the waiter, what do you like? What are you excited about on the menu? And then I always get whatever they say. And this guy went with a pork tenderloin. I had 3 pork tenderloins and some asparagus, which made my urine smell just like asparagus.
Yeah. We were in a small room.
so-
Your pee stunk after you stuffed up the toilet.
Did you- Yeah, I was
Twice.
Can we talk about that?
We walk in, and so 5
How do you
minutes
know
within
what
being in
Eric's
the room,
pee smells like?
Eric
Murdered the
destroyed
toilet.
the toilet. It
Murdered
stopped
it.
working.
I destroyed it.
And they said it worked,
Clogged
and
it up.
didn't work. And the thing,
Mexican-
it didn't flush. It cried. I mean, it was like it dripped. It was the
The
worst.
Mexican
Every
guy
morning I had
that-
to wake up and walk downstairs and like totally wave at everybody. Put a mask on to go take a shit.
Which,
It
by
was
the way,
worst.
they haven't,
Hey,
they
how
haven't
many
given
beds were in there?
just one.
Dude, you really think you're getting a deposit back?
We
when you did that
snugged.
toilet?
I need to go check. I
No,
don't
let's
think
talk about the sleeping
Yeah, did
situation.
you guys triple spoon?
No, let's talk about the sleeping situation. There was
Yeah,
one
yeah.
bed. The old guy gets it.
Thank you.
yeah.
Geriatric.
Yeah, it was a suite,
Fuck.
so we had like a bedroom.
It was a giant.
And
king-size
let me
bed.
just be
Anybody
clear.
gonna say no?
Let me just be clear.
I
I
would have got
said
in there.
I said I would take the couch.
no, Boston Joe
that-
said, I'll take the bed.
No. No, I'm the young guy. I said, I'll take the couch or the floor. I said, I'll sleep on the floor. Tansy being the nice guy that he is, no, I'll sleep on the floor. And then bitches about it while
No,
he's
no,
on the
no, no.
floor.
No.
So I told
totally
him,
see
I
that
told him
happen.
he slept on desert floors before. This is luxurious compared to the shit you've seen.
Yeah, I didn't
Did not
sleep
like
on
that.
I didn't sleep on desert floors so that like
Yeah, they don't have
15
floors
years
in the
later,
desert.
Yes, you did.
I could fucking sleep on the floor of
Yes, you did.
Isn't the
Support the
desert a
truth.
lot softer than the floor? Probably. 'cause it's a
Probably.
little sandy and. I mean,
The
little
thing is
warmer.
is that
no,
Boston,
it's cold as shit at night, man. Do you know nothing
yeah.
about the desert?
No, I'm from
Okay,
Boston.
yeah. So like
we
the
don't have
desert
deserts
at night,
there.
They have, yeah. Well, I mean, you can read, can't you? And gone to school.
Nope.
Did you take? Yeah.
Never read a
That's
book in my life.
Dude, your dad. I can see why you ran.
Yeah,
Are we going to go
can-
back to the dad
We
thing
can see
again?
why nobody
Absolutely.
loves you.
I'm only supposed to have one parent based off my accent, is what Ross told me repeatedly. So,
Because you're
Bro.
wicked smart.
wicked.
So who do we have coming up next on the show? Do you got anybody lined up? You got anybody in the
We've
shoot
got-
for us?
we've
Yeah,
got
you doing your job?
Man, I'm still hungover. I mean, we were supposed
no
to shoot this
excuses,
show.
no excuses.
We will be fine.
You were
so
raging.
It's getting ready. Yeah, we got several people in mind for the next show, so it'll be good.
Yeah, we're excited, man. I'm super excited to see where we go going forward here. I know that Hamidi Jassim, the Terrorist Whisperer, has talked
Yes.
about coming on the show for
Yeah,
some
we
soccer
want
game. He wants to
him on
cook
the show.
some Iraq cuisine. I know that's going to be exciting. And we do have a pro skater in the books, maybe a
Buzz,
professional coach from the NFL that
Yes.
I will
Yeah,
talk
we
about.
can't really talk about that one, but yes, that one
yep,
is-
we
that
are
one's
excited
in the
about that.
work.
And then maybe a receiver that was he going into free agency and he didn't want to talk before the season was over.
Yes, yeah. He can't. He's like contractually, he cannot talk. And he was going to come on
But
the
he's
show,
waiting,
and we
yep.
were going to talk about what was going on. But being that free agency hadn't hit yet, we could not bring him on.
Wait for the tail.
But he's
And
coming.
I wasn't
He's
worried about
coming
him.
on.
I
He's
wasn't
coming
worried
on.
about him, man. I've spent a weekend with you. I know that you guys say the wrong thing at the wrong time. All the
We
time.
don't want to get nobody in
Give
trouble.
me
Absolutely.
one example of
Yeah.
where we said the wrong thing. At the
Are
wrong
you
time.
gay?
You're fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
Who did I call fat?
It doesn't matter. We just told this
And
story.
again, fat shaming works. So it was a positive thing. That I
I'm
called.
losing
my
weight.
Lord.
I was fat shamed this week, and I'm going on weight. I said
can
I look
get
like a
fat
professional
shamed.
bowler, and I said, you know what? I'm losing weight because
Professional bowling
I'm
ball,
not going to look
maybe.
like a professional bowler. That's not me. That's not who I let my wife marry.
That's why I talk to her all the time.
I got called fat on this fucking episode, too.
Get cucked.
I lost weight before surgery.
Wait. Speaking of getting cucked, let's go back to the dip off that you lost.
No.
You're the chef.
Yeah, you did
and you,
lose.
You
I don't-
provide this dip
Dude,
that loses against Jessie Wiseman, who she didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Dude,
but
she was
beat
like
your
it
ass.
was the most redneck stuff, and she talked shit about being redneck, and yours is bougie and
bougie as fuck.
Man.
Too bougie. That was the problem.
I
was.
just, I,
Was
I-
tasty, though.
I raised her one. You know, these nachos I just made, all food line, top of the line for you, Miss Wiseman.
They're pretty good.
I want to see you in
Fighters
the
are
ring.
good.
Better yet, I'll fight you and Eric in the ring. You guys can team up, and I'll beat both your asses.
Are you going
How
to use
about
that crutch that you walked in on as a weapon?
My hips are damaged from defending your community.
Oh my
16 years.
God!
So you can
Oh my
just sit
God.
the fuck down.
Thank you for my service.
Thank you for
Yes.
my service,
Yes.
motherfucker.
Once again, it was a labia injury. Labia.
I tore it on a
hip.
barbed wire fence.
It's right near his hip.
Labia
You tore your
meniscus.
labia
Yes.
on the barbed wire.
You know what? You know who I was chasing?
It was
You know who
floppy
I
as
was
hell.
chasing? Your dad.
Oh, dude.
I wish
bad
you'd chase
shaming.
me.
As I took a sip from your beer,
Oh, dude.
Joke's on you.
COVID.
I have cold sore.
Don't you?
I already had him.
That he got in Austin.
Welcome to herpes, the gift that keeps on giving.
He got it in Austin from some homeless guy. By the way, before we close out the show, I have never seen more homeless people in my life
Oh, it's
than
unreal,
going through
man.
Austin. As woke as a town as Austin is, I wanted to say, wow, you're woke, but there's a homeless person. I've never seen more homeless people in my life.
I blame
took
Joe
a-
Rogan. He told everyone to go there. All his
It was
LA
He
friends.
brought up
Dude,
It
no,
was
they are.
sad.
They all
It
like,
was
"Oh,
so
Rogan's
sad.
there."
And I talked to one of the police officers there. I said, dude, listen, like, I thought Raleigh was, had a lot of transits. And I said, but you guys,
Not
he said,
even
man, in the
close.
last 3 years, he said, it's just
Year and a
it's-
half. It was a
year and a half. He said a year and a half. He
Yeah.
said it's just become overwhelming. He said 99% of their calls are dealing with the homeless, and they have to deal with dead homeless people every single day. And the thing is about their homeless, like Raleigh really is like transit homelessness. You don't run into a lot of like lifetime homeless. All of the people in Austin were lifetime homeless people. They were cracked out of their mind all night.
Yes.
Hundreds of them.
They had good stuff,
Streaming
yes.
through the street. One dude farted on me.
Yes,
he
farted at
looked
him.
at
They
me,
did.
turned around, bent over, and ripped
He did,
the
yeah.
biggest
Ripped a-
fart of my life.
I fart in your general direction.
I never wanted to hurt somebody so bad in my life.
Why don't you fart
What a
back?
blast, though. What a blast
What
we had.
it was
That
a
was a
good
blast,
time. It was a
yeah.
good time. I still smell like a homeless person. That's because I
That's 'cause
did
you ate
not shower
asparagus.
for 2
Yeah,
days.
that's not
And
the
you ate
homeless people's
asparagus.
fault.
Because I ate asparagus.
Because he ate asparagus.
But guys, thank you again for joining us on the Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legend Show. We have Chef Pooh Hawk down at the end cooking us the finest tailgate cuisine every show. Baston Joe, our sports guy, production manager, producer, general manager,
Silver
whatever you
Fox.
want to call him, the Silver Fox Buddha from Copperstone
you can't
Records.
hurt her.
Eric Tanzi, and of course our the guy that makes us sound pretty, look pretty, Noel White, giving it his best, always nodding his head in disgust at everything we say. Never know what that means, but I
bad,
know
the
it's
ugly.
never good, and I will laugh later when he says, "I can't believe you said this."
Yeah.
And,
Next time, guys, we kill and cook a goat.
Okay.
maybe
Get cucked.
Get cucked, yes. Yes. By the way, the get cucked thing was in reference to anytime Boston Joe saw a man walking down the road wearing a mask and the female next to him wasn't, Boston Joe, which, by the way, he could say whatever the fuck he wants with his Boston accent, but he would look over and say, like, hey, buddy, why don't you get cucked? And then we would keep walking, and the guy wouldn't even fight him. And I
Yeah.
think it's because of the accent. If I told a gentleman to get cucked, I'd get blasted in the fucking teeth.
It's also because you're little.
Well,
Dude.
you said I was fat earlier. Now we're saying I'm
You're little and fat.
I don't know what to believe. Guys, this is Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legends. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.